Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to A Bell Chimes.
Oh, I wasn't meant to say hello there.
You can say hello as many times as you like. This week we finally have our first guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Alex. Nice to meet you.
But yeah, I don't know if you heard that, but that was the audience saying hi back.
Oh,
Um,
excellent.
so, Alex, what would you like the audience to know about you?
Oh, well, I'm quite an anonymous person. Nah, I'm a student. I am a friend of our dear host from, well, back when I was a different student. One of those people.
Before she changed.
I did change.
Great. Is there. Do you have a social media presence that you want the world to know about?
Oh, certainly not yet. Maybe one day. Watch this space.
Or you just have to hope you're still a guest at that point.
Oh, yeah, I better be quick.
um, Great. Well, let's get straight on to the good stuff then. Tell us about your character. First of all, what's their name?
My character I have named and immediately forgotten. My
Mm-hmm.
name of my character is Ryer. Dr. Ryer. Dr. Ryer Nightbird, in fact.
Hmm. That's a very long name. Raya, Doctor Raya Nightbud.
Very unusual for people to get it right first time around, I must have told you.
Well, I've had practice, you know. This isn't my first rodeo. So, how have you assigned stats to a character, and what are their defining features, would you say?
Well, I have assigned 2 to wit, no, 2 to will, 1 to wit, and 0 to brawn, because I like to live life on the edge of death. Um,
On the edge of death, or the edge of glory, perhaps?
Perhaps. I went higher in will because I am, in fact, a concoctionist. I'm a bit of a medical professional, you might say, here to cleanse them wounds, cut off that limb, just in case you didn't need it, that sort of thing. And to go with
When it's
that
gotta
sort
go, it's
of,
gotta go.
yeah, to go with that vibe, you've got your black overalls, your white clean apron, just
Mm.
just in preparation for that real down and dirty field surgery.
The inevitable blood splatter. Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, lucky for you, there definitely won't be any of those. Everyone's going to come out safe and sound, so you needn't have dressed up for the occasion.
Ah, darn it.
Just kidding. So, um, cool. Dr. Ryan Nightbud. Let's go straight into it. So, Dr. Ryan Nightbud is working late in the lab. What kind of setup do you have in your personal laboratory, and what kind of projects are you working on at the moment?
So it's quite a modest lab, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the work is good. Obviously, the highest level of output, the highest output item we have is tinctures, like potions such as wound knitting. That's what people are always looking for to help stave
Yeah, of
off a
course,
gory
healing.
death, naturally. But healing isn't where I excel, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the true tragedy of humanity is actually the pain of the mind, those ghosts,
Mm.
phantoms, the fear of what goes bump in the night. And so, my latest creation, my most wondrous child, is a potion that will dispel any fears that you may encounter. It will bring light to a dark room. It shall make that terrible wolf look just like an innocent puppy. I truly believe that this is the future. If I can get it to work. Currently, it's caused bouts of insomnia, but we'll get there.
Mm. Making wolves look like puppies in the future, huh? We'll see about that. So, you've just come back from grabbing a bite to eat. As usual, you've not really bothered to get changed out of your outfit. The guy down at the local bar knows you well by now and is accustomed to you popping over for a bite to eat at the end of a long day and the start of a long evening of hard toil. But this time, on your way back to your lab, you feel like something's amiss. Roll an observation check.
Excellent. Right.
A 7, which in this
Beautiful.
game I'm afraid is insufficient.
Oh, I thought that was quite good. Okay, continue.
It's average, but average is not good enough for seeing things. You feel like you're being watched, but you can't quite place the feeling.
Mm.
You get back to the lab, and you're working away at your potion, which naturally requires you to take apart some fresh specimens that you've had brought in by the local butcher.
Indeed.
Animal anatomy gives you some insight into the human workings, but I guess it's just never quite enough. If only you could get your hands on some fresh corpses, maybe you could make some progress. It's as you're making the final incision into, well, you tell me what animal it is.
Oh, that's a very good question. Some sort of deer. I would like it to be a prey animal. It would make me very happy.
Yeah. After you're making the final incision into the skull of this severed deer head, you turn around to polish the blood off the scalpel, and you see someone in the doorway. They're dressed in wine red robes, kind of a monk's outfit, maybe. And they're looking at you as if they didn't expect you to turn around at that particular moment.
May I help you? I'm actually closed for the evening. I was intending to lock up in a moment, so if you could just escort yourself out, I would appreciate it.
Are you Dr. Nightbud?
I am. Is
Uh,
this is this an emergency or?
no, no. Have you And they swallow audibly. It's They seem very nervous, but they clearly want to say something to you. Do Would you consider joining the order?
Look, as I said, I am about to close up and I will step towards this individual and try to hush them out of the door. I will happily talk to you tomorrow during office hours if you so wish.
Okay, but my name's Thea. I I'll see you tomorrow, and they leave. And
Okay. Disaster averted.
promptly back to work.
Excellent.
The next day, first thing in the morning, you've gotten a solid 6 hours of sleep, which is more than you've had over the past several weeks after testing your prototypes.
Fair enough.
You arrive and find Thea waiting outside the lab. And they seem delighted when you show up. And Thea says, "Hi, Dr. Nightbud. I'm here to see if you have thought some more about joining the order."
Fear, what was it? Look, I don't know what you are possibly referring to, but I am a scientist. I don't feel as if any orders or groups of any of that kind would be of interest to me. I apologize.
But, um, but Dr. Nightbird, surely you've heard the news of the miracles of the Order? The Order of the Bell. You've heard of them, right?
Um, I've I've been quite busy in recent times. I'm not sure I've heard of any Bell. Um, I mean, I would happily make you a cup of tea if you'd like to come in and chat, but I don't see you
Okay.
changing
Yeah.
my mind with
Yes,
miracles.
please. I'd love a cup of tea. No one's offered me tea before.
That is not surprising, Thea.
What
Come along.
is it? Is it the road? Does it smell? Oh, it smells bad, doesn't it? I'm sorry.
No, no,
I can get
bad
it
smells.
washed.
No, bad smells aren't my concern. You're just. Oh, there's nothing wrong with you, my dear. Come.
All right.
What is your?
You enter
Yeah,
the
sorry.
lab together, and you pull together a few bar stools. Um, and just as you finish setting things up and putting a pot of water on a low flame and getting the fire going, but you obviously leave it on most of the time because you need a constant source of heat. Your lab assistant Arnold pops his head through the door and says, "Oh, gosh, we've got a guest! How delightful!"
Oh, good morning, Arnold. This is
Thea,
Thea.
Thea, yeah, my name's Thea Artemis. I'm, um, well, I was about to tell Doctor Nightbud all about the Order of the Bell. Are you a member? The Order of the Bell. Uh, Sounds familiar. Maybe. Are you making tea? Should I take over?
Well, maybe Arnold, you should listen to Thea's story. Potentially, it seems to be potentially riveting. You could recount it to me later after I'm finished with my work.
You are suitably patient with Thea Artemis, who tells you about the wonderful miracles performed by the Order of the Bell in your town. And Thea is very insistent that since you're one of the most highly valued members of the community, what with your medical knowledge and all of your experience in potion making, the Order is very keen to have you on board. But after you nod politely and hear them out, you manage to convince Thea to leave. But they come back. Every morning they're waiting for you, waiting to hear if you've considered joining the Order of the Bell. And day by day you get more and more impatient to get rid of Thea. And you stop offering tea, and you stop even responding after 2 weeks of this. And on the 15th day, after you first meet Thea Artemis, you walk up to your lab, and there is someone waiting in a wine red robe, as you've come to expect. Roll an observation check.
Right. Ooh, that was an 8.
All right, still not good enough. And so you don't notice that the person in the wine red robe today, who reaches out as if to get your attention, but whom you brusquely brush off, is not Thea Artemis. And so you get to work. Today, the butcher has bought you a first-rate pig, and you decided that this time you're really going to get to the bottom of the connections in the nerves between the brain and the spine and work out how all the fluid works through there, because you're sure that's going to be crucial for getting your potion to work just right. Oh, Dr. Nightbud, Something arrived in the post. Well, not exactly. It wasn't addressed. It was just a blank envelope. I think it might be from Thea. Should I open it?
I guess so. We can't do any harm to read a note, one hopes.
Oh, okay. Um, he opens the envelope and he looks at it, and you wait for him to read it, and then you turn around and you see that Arnold looks kind of scared. He's staring at this piece of paper and he's not really moving. Not as if he's not breathing or anything. He just looks incredibly frightened and transfixed by this thing that he's seeing.
Well, what is it, Arnold?
Uh, uh, I don't think this was meant for me.
Arnold, what is it? I will attempt to snatch it from his hands.
All right. Roll me a wit check with the upper hand. That means roll 3d6, and you take the better of the two, plus your wit modifier.
I believe that brings it to a 10.
All right, 4, 2, and a 5, plus your 1, that is a 10. And you, with little difficulty, grab the paper off of Arnold, who seems relieved, and his body kind of crumples a little bit, as if he's just done something very exhausting. And then he realizes that you're about to look at the note, and his eyes widen again, but it's too late, and you're looking at it. And it's a symbol. Some strange shape with curves in all of the wrong places, drawing your eye to the center, where there's a tiny insignia, and you can't quite make out what it's supposed to be, and yet it projects into the back of your mind, and your whole body tenses up. Roll a grip check.
Righto. This will very likely not end well. Okay.
Alright, nice. That's a 10 plus 2, a 12.
Exceptional.
You can mark experience. As you manage to tear your eyes away from this strange shape, unable to fathom its significance, but knowing that it represents some kind of threat. And even as you do so, a person steps through the door. A stranger, or not a stranger? It looks like Thea, but they have a kind of determination in their eyes. And as they walk in, a voice which has none of the nerves that you heard each time that they approached you previously says, "Those who will not join will become the sacrifice." And they run forward. And underneath their cloak are a pair of daggers, one of which they drive towards your eyes as the other goes towards their guts. Arnold is too slow to react, but you might have a chance. Roll a brawn check.
This is why putting 0 into brawn will undoubtedly lead to my demise. I rolled 6.
With no modifier, that is a failure. So I'm going to make this an attack check and see how this goes. Alright. You raise your hands to defend yourself from this twin dagger attack. In fact, there are 2 daggers, so I should roll another one. You manage to parry one of the blows, and the second only grazes your cheek. As Thea attempts in vain to slice at you. And you notice around the neck is some kind of pendant that you hadn't seen them wearing before. And even as they're slashing at you, you see tears start to well in their eyes. I didn't want to do this. You gave me no choice.
There's always a choice. Please.
All right. Do you want to? This is your chance to act. What are you going to do?
Is she between me and the door?
Yep.
Ah. I am not the most fight capable. I would love to attempt to run. If I can get myself together enough to do so. Let's see.
Okay, so either you can do something and then make an attempt to escape, or you can just use all of your action to escape.
I believe
Apparently
I will
escaping
attempt.
can be free.
Escaping can be free? That feels broken. I will attempt to make everything my attempt to escape and hope there is no one behind the knife-wielding maniac.
All right. You push past Thea and you run out the door, only to be confronted by 6 cloak-bearing figures who are waiting immediately outside and who waste no time in grabbing you, having expected your immediate escape.
I feared this.
None of them are faces that you recognize, but... Or are they? Do you want to roll a wit check?
I would love to. It seems like the perfect time to be considering whether I know my assailants. My wit is +1, but I only rolled a 7, that making it an 8.
That is a failure still.
Indeed.
In the panic that overcomes you, any sense of familiarity that these faces might have brought is erased. And even as you look up at them, 2 out of the 6 begin to drive daggers into your body. And you feel blood gushing out of the wounds that they've caused. A few moments later, as you're lying on the ground and all 6 of the members have stood back, Thea comes back out of the lab and stands over you. There's a glazed over look in their eyes, as if either they had spent a lot of time mentally preparing for this, or they're in denial about the reality of the situation. You notice that several of these wine-red cloaks have darker stains, brownish. Maybe you're not the first victim of this Order of the Bell. But as you feel your life slipping away, Thea crouches beside you and then surprises you by taking you into their arms.
Oh.
And they whisper in your ear, "It's a gift. They promise that anyone they sacrifice gets eternal life. Maybe this isn't the end." You've got the strength to say one last thing if anything comes to mind.
I know exactly what I want to say. So I will simply whisper back, "You fools," as I succumb to my injuries, one would assume.
Yep. And you see a light way off in the sky. It's a cloudy day, but you know it's not the sun that you can see. And then it's like a door slams shut in front of that light. A door of hard blue crystal. As from the pendant around the neck of the person crouching over you, you hear the chime of a bell. Our adventurers find themselves looking out over a ledge, beyond which is a small pack of fearsome acidic wolves, so named because of the yellow goo that they are known to spew. They will look on as these same wolves harmonize with one another over a low, threatening rumble coming from deeper in the cave.
Uh-oh.
The wolves haven't turned around and paid attention to the adventurers yet, so you're packed into a narrow passageway above this ledge, and you have the first move. However, before I get you to roll for initiative, which you will shortly do, I think Anchor was going to take an affliction, just in case any grip checks are encountered in the course of this encounter. Now, I know that Vitellius took one last time. Is anyone else on the verge of a breakdown?
In-game.
I've already had my breakdown, it's fine.
Yeah. Right. So, do you want me to describe the one that we discussed off the podcast, or would you like to roll for it, Lakey?
Well, I want to roll for it, but no, you're talking about what my
Affliction is.
is. Now, let's go for the one that we talked about.
This is breaking my immersion. You guys don't exist outside of the podcast to me.
Excuse me.
You
I feel personally attacked.
You can't just say people don't exist, Jamie.
I can and I will.
What if it's true, Josh?
Ergo cogito sum.
So,
I don't wanna quote something from a Turkish sitcom, but no one is gonna get it.
you don't know.
It's a bit sad.
Now you know how I feel.
With all of your Turkish sitcom knowledge.
That was harsh.
Feasting dreams. Growing affliction. The Crypt Digger develops persistent, harsh, and terrifying nightmares. Regenerating vigor or grip from sleep or rest requires a successful will check. On the subject of recovering grip, one thing that we didn't cover the episode before last was whether you rested for long enough to recover any grip. Any vigor, which might be important because I know that Anchor is rather low on that. She is currently at 2 vigor. So I think what we could do, since no one took any damage last episode, to my memory, is retcon that you all recovered 1 vigor when you went back to the camp. You would have taken the time that you were there. It was a long enough period of time that you would have bandaged up whatever wounds that you had or treated the acid burns in Anchor's case. So since it could make all the difference, let's return you some of your vigor. So I've done that one. Let's see Caradon's grip situation. No, your vigor situation rather. Oh, Caradon's fine.
Unharmed. Just too good.
Vet.
I still have Erwan's character sheet. That's sad.
Oh, can't believe I've forgotten. Who was he?
That poor guy.
All right.
I'm glad we put him out of his misery.
Yeah, it was the right thing to do.
So, now to recall the initiative rolls. So, Stephen got a 2 plus 2, which is 4. Anchor got a... She's still pretty witty, as far as I remember. Rolled a 3. Plus 3 is 6. Very impressive. Victor is on a... That's 2d6. That's a lot. 3 plus 0 is 3. Jamie, so Caradon is on 1 plus 2, was it?
Yeah.
3. Vitellius rolled
Rolled a 1.
a 1 plus anything.
That's plus 2 wit.
Alright, 3. And the wolves got a 1 plus 1 is 2, so they're going last. Excellent. Neatly reflects the fact that they haven't noticed you yet.
Get wrecked, wolves.
So, that's all gone. Let the match begin.
Bum, ba-da-bum, da-da-dum.
No, it's not really the right vibe, is it?
Oh,
And so,
ouch.
Anchor's going first.
Hmm. Okay, where am I? Exactly.
So, you're looking out over this ledge. You see 3 wolves and the waving tail of a 4th one that you can also hear distinctly amongst the harmonies.
Yeah, I was just going to say I see the third one, which is more feasible. I'm gonna try to shoot it with
All
my
right.
arrow, and everyone is gonna say, "Give me Anka," give me Jimmy.
Is that the reference that you wanted to make to a Turkish sitcom?
No, give me
Okay.
Jimmy.
Give you Jimmy.
Better Call Saul.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Famous Turkish sitcom. Damn. I have to watch that one.
wow, the dubbing is really good in that.
I mean, I would say I'm disappointed to have not gotten that, but it's not
I am
the most
disappointed.
iconic line. Okay, give me an attack roll, please.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not a great roll, folks. She rolled a
Nope.
2, a 3, and a 1.
I must have slipped.
Now, fortunately, it's been established previously that the wolves' armor class is low enough and Anchor's wit is high enough that still manages to do 2 damage.
Oof.
Incredible.
Ooh.
So, since we're looking at the map and these wolves are arranged in a neat line from left to right, which one were you aiming at?
Third one.
Anchor draws back her hand, knocking an arrow into her bow, and with the elegance and grace that you've come to expect, she neatly plops that arrow into this wolf's backside, where it almost gets sorted aside by the tail, but still manages to find purchase in the matted fur. Next up is Stephen Depretis.
So Stephen is not all that much of a fighter,
Mhm.
but he does under his cloak have a set of throwing knives. So with obvious nervousness on his face, he is going to flick one of those knives at the furthest wolf away, so the one that is on the right.
All right.
He just needs to back himself, really.
Yeah, sounds like he's got confidence issues.
I'm sure he's got this.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not all about the money, money, money.
Isn't that why we're here?
Ooh,
I think you find it
it's
is
about
all
the
about
honey,
Good one.
Exactly. Then rolled a 1, 3, and a 4. The 1 and the 4 with his modifier of
Two
plus 2 is enough. So he manages to deal 3 damage to the far wolf. At this point, the 2 wolves that have been inflicted wounds upon. I feel like the word order wasn't
Wounded.
right there.
Close enough.
3 wolves who have been wounded. Oh,
You have had wounds
Yeah.
inflicted upon them.
That's the one. That's what I was going for. They briefly stopped harmonizing, and when they rejoin with eyes seeking over their shoulders, there's more of a growl and whine to the sound that they make. But they haven't yet prepared themselves to attack.
But they're still in perfect 4-part a cappella harmony.
Exactly. So next up is Vitellius, I believe. I think the tiebreaker is the wit modifier.
So Vitellius sort of pushes his way to the front of the group. And for context, as listeners will remember, he had developed a love of the dirt. And as the party has been advancing, has been smearing himself with pretty much anything he sees. So he's now almost completely coated dirt, and he's not wearing his cloak as well because that got wolf acid on it. He's looking completely deranged, wild-eyed. staring at the party, and telling them. And he starts to speak. He says, "Don't you see? Don't you see the signs? Isn't it obvious what's happening?
Uh, uh, could you explain? Maybe Snyder?
This place, this cave, the acid, it's all signs. It's signs.
What's
Gragor is trying to escape. That's why he's creating this acid.
Oh,
He's trying to weaken the earth to prepare himself for his rise."
right.
Seems
Well, I
legit.
mean, yeah, that could definitely be true. But we
Sounds
should probably,
plausible.
just wait and see. There could be a
Yeah.
other explanation.
No, we must not wait. We must not wait. You see, these wolves, the 4 wolves. Gragor has drawn a sacrifice towards us. He's offered us these wolves that we must sacrifice to him in order to enact his rise.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. I mean, help yourself.
Go for it. Yeah. Kill
Fill
some of
your
those
boots.
wolves.
Really?
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting you to dissuade me, but
Well,
okay.
we need to kill. Should we have sidebar? Should we have done?
I feel I feel
I
like
disagree.
our goals are aligned in this
Are
aspect.
we taking advantage of a mentally ill person? Toss. I'm willing to take the risk.
We're in combat. We can discuss the moral implications
Yes.
later.
But it is my duty. It is my duty to kill these wolves. It is my duty to rise Gragor. You see, I'm not like you.
Snyder.
I'm different.
Snyder.
I'm stronger. I'm smarter.
Snyder.
I'm better.
Okay.
I am better.
Even as he's shouting this, he abseils down the height of the ledge in a couple of short jumps and positions himself in the middle of the room, claiming his superiority even as he turns to face the wolves before him.
I will use the words of Gragor to restrain these wolves and prepare them for the sacrifice. And he sort of pats around him. The book. I do not have the book. Oh God. Okay. And he puts his fingers to his temples and sort of concentrates for a second to see if he can recall the magic words of Gragor that will allow him to use the spider powers.
Can we
spin some
we
spiky
intervene?
webs.
How long is this turn of combat?
You can't intervene because this is. You can shout something if you want, but you can't really intervene.
Should we
Vitellius'
give the
turn, I
book
suppose.
or should we keep it to ourselves?
Do we have the book? Yes, we do. Yes, I remember getting.
Yes, we
Yes.
have the book. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I feel like we shouldn't destabilize them.
Is this guy a prophet? Like, what's happening?
he sort of believes that a spider is living in the earth and is going to come out.
Yeah, he's not like other
Yeah.
girls.
Maybe we should give him the book because, like, if there's otherwise he'd probably be eaten by wolves, and there's like a 1% chance that.
All right.
But
there's
I
not-
don't
Okay, well, I'm
want
going
to.
to check the book.
It's a
I'm checking the book.
Snap decision.
Oh no,
No,
Gregor,
Okay.
no,
catch.
no.
No,
that's not even his name.
Gragor.
I
It's
was
Gragor.
Sorry.
Gregor's
yeah.
prophet.
Snyder, catch
Vitellius.
this.
It's Vitellius.
All right.
So Snyder grabs the book out of the air, and it falls open. Obviously, the most used page, the best spells in, and
How convenient.
the bookmark one, yeah. And Vitellius, we immediately reads off the page, focusing his eyes on the wolves. Well, no, so he scans the page and then, looking at the wolves, he utters the words of Gragor, which goes something like.
That was a great Gragor impression.
I should say that this act actually involves expending grit. So I think
Indeed.
this is going all out and it's going to expend 3 grit, D3 grit. And we came up with some rules for that. I think it's basically D3. Expend D3 grit to have some proportionately dramatic effect.
So I.
Yep.
I feel like we shouldn't have given him the book.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
So he's going to go 3 whole
So
points of
just-
grip on this.
Oh boy.
3 for
I've accidentally
3.
driven him insane.
No, it's okay. You don't have to roll a grit check, okay? This is all Vitellius.
Okay.
I fucked with
I
his
don't know.
brain.
I didn't want to give the book, so I'm not sure.
All
Maybe
right,
I'm
here we
affected.
go. Vitellius's voice, at first, it's quiet, and he says this like some ancient curse, and it doesn't strike you as anything special. And then you hear it echoing several seconds later from every direction in the cave. And you see, as the sound arrives, there's this glazed look that comes over Vitellius. The phrasing wasn't great there, and it sounds like he just got covered in glaze.
Like a donut.
I think no glazed look makes sense. No, just like glazed, mindless look.
Looking
eyes
delicious.
glaze over is the expression.
His eyes looking like two glazed donuts.
He reads these words and he looks like a tasty snack.
So it's a fake bagel.
Yeah.
His eyes open wider as he hears his voice echoing back at him, and he repeats the phrase. And this time, there's a rumbling beneath his feet, and the ground cracks in a great spiderweb pattern. And the wolves can't help but pay attention as the echoes of Vitellius's voice drown out their harmony. And as they turn and prepare themselves to attack, startled by the power being displayed by this human, few of whom they've encountered, webs seem to flow out from the center of the spider web and clot around the edge of the room, including at Vitellius's feet, and he finds himself very quickly constrained. But similarly, the closest three wolves have their feet completely stuck in this webbing, which has this kind of deep green sheen to it, which contrasts nauseatingly with the yellow glow from beyond.
Man, the colour scheme in this cave is awful.
Oh my god, it worked.
All right, next up is Caradon.
We should just chucked him a copy of the Beano or something. I don't know why we gave him the
Yeah,
real
but now
thing.
he's immobilized some of the wolves.
Yeah, I mean, short-term gain, but I don't know where this is going to end up, so...
And a whole lot of fun.
Well, I don't have a ranged weapon, so... good job, guys.
What? Get down there.
I mean, there's webs everywhere.
Oh, you're such a...
It's very offensive to my eyes. This green and yellow.
Call yourself an adventurer, man. I mean, cave digger. Crypt digger. Edit that out. Please.
No.
Come on then. Go.
Go on, Caradon, are you a knight or not?
Oh, not anymore.
For Slimy's sake.
Do it for Slimy Man.
I killed Slimy
Exactly.
Exactly.
for a good reason.
Are you forfeiting your turn? Are you going to prepare an action? What are you going to do?
Can I see this wolf?
You have line of sight on a wolf, and you can easily move amongst your fellow crypt diggers to get a better view.
So the wolves with the web on, are they dead or are they just immobilized?
They're just immobilized and don't seem to like it.
I mean, yeah, it seems reasonable. How immobilized would you say they are?
Well, it's mostly affected their front paws since they'd turned around. I guess I can illustrate that on the map by turning them around. So, yeah, they might be able to break free if they're strong enough on their turn. But
So you see, the problem I have here, right, is if I jump down and let's say optimistically, I manage to beat one of these wolves. There are still 3 wolves. And they seem kind of annoyed.
That's okay. Victor will come and save you.
100%. I'm jumping down there on my next turn.
I've heard that before.
I
I
apologize.
It might
suppose
be
I
a bit like trampoline, you know? You can also
I
try
suppose
to
I
Yeah.
better jump down.
It is like a trampoline, you're right.
All right. You jump
And then
down.
bounce back up.
You have the good sense to let yourself down on the rope and jump away from the wall to avoid the webs that have accumulated there.
Yeah.
And you find yourself faced to these walls. Having three before you is quite an intimidating sight. But not so intimidating as to make you roll a grip check.
Well, no, I've dealt with stuff like this before.
Yeah.
And then I'll attack one of the
Course.
wolves.
Take your pick.
So the one that's free, how is it? Is it like stuck behind the other ones, or how's this working?
It's not like it can probably jump over them.
Can I attack and then run away?
Sure. Seems like a good time to review the rules for moving around.
You could
in
attack.
Best
I mean,
Of
to actually run. To run out of the zone of the wolf would not be possible within the turn, and would require a wit check in any case.
So in the updated rules, a crypt digger attempting to leave a zone containing a monster must make a wit check, or either remain in the original zone or be attacked by one of the zone's monsters while leaving. The crypt digger may make the wit check trivial by forfeiting their action for the turn. So if you attack, then you have to roll a wit check to try and escape, and failure could mean getting attacked in return. Whereas if you don't attack or use your action for other stuff, then you can not have to worry about escaping.
Do you want me to give you the alcohol so you can make a Molotov cocktail?
I mean, what I'm hearing here is stay on the ledge.
I mean, you can do that. This is fine. Ain't nobody gonna live to judge you.
Everyone is judging you.
So what if I killed the wolf? Would I be able to move away then?
Roll an observation check. That's a 7, which means you fail.
No.
Okay, there's nothing about any of these particular wolves that stands out to you as being a reason for you to attack one over the others.
Okay. I'll attack the one that got shot.
All right, the middle one as you're facing them.
I thought it was the third one on the right.
The third one from the left.
Of the three.
Oh,
Of the four, so it is the middle one.
With all of them.
okay. You did mean the third one from the left of the four. Sorry, listeners, this is confusing because they're arranged in a row, but one of them is slightly behind some rocks, so it wouldn't have been attackable, so it's ambiguous as to which one's being referred to. But I'm saying that this one is the one, the middle of the three accessible ones is the one Anchor shot, and the one on the further right is the one that got daggered,
Oh, okay.
as they say in the business.
I'll attack the one on the far right then. I don't like things on the far right.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Take it away. Wow, excellent roll. Jamie rolled a 6, a 4, and a 6
Impressive.
for an undoubtable
This guy.
critical hit. Remind us what you're attacking with, Jamie.
Light sword.
Zoom.
And I'm cutting that out this time. You get one of those.
All right. Give us a roll on the crit table.
So it's a 3 and a 6.
Jamie rolled a 1 and a 6.
So a 1 and a 6 equals no effect.
After all that.
Additional injury.
This is bullshit.
No extra injury. It's just you just cut the wolf really good.
Next time.
All right. You make to cut off this wolf's head, deciding that a decisive blow could push the odds of the battle in your favor. But the wolf juts its shoulder forward at the last moment, and while the cut that you make is deep and the wound clearly severe, the wolf manages to stay standing.
Okay. Can I hide behind this wolf from the other wolves?
Interesting choice.
I guess. Certainly, I would say that Vitellius has their attention for the time being.
I mean, yeah, I didn't say anything.
Have the attention of the rest, rather.
Yeah.
So you might get attacked by it. I wouldn't stand
They can
too
still
close
bite
to
you.
it. Put it that way.
Well, I don't mean right by it.
Just there. All right, Victor's
Okay.
turn. Let's go.
Victor nobly and bravely jumps off the ledge.
Hey, well, okay. My jumping was also very noble and
Yeah,
very
but you didn't
brave,
say it.
given that I did it first.
This is an audio. This is an audio. This is a listening medium. You gotta.
I was transmitting that through
Okay,
my
I leap
description.
down normally onto the floor, and I rush to the same wolf that Jamie's character carried on. I had a momentary lapse.
It's been
I had
like
a
8
momentary
episodes,
lapse.
so you don't remember my...
Jamie, be grateful I remember your name, okay? That's all I'm saying. Right. And
Well, when that wolf was licking honey off the rock, that was momentary lapse as well.
okay, so I attack with my spear. I give it a jab at the wolf with my spear. I'm defending myself with the kite shield.
You thrust it
Right,
right
I try
up
to.
there.
I suppose I should probably roll in the interest of fairness. Oh my!
It is only fair.
That's not
dear
fair.
listener, I accidentally rolled a 12 d6 rather than a
three. You
I
need
need a
3
3
of them.
So I rolled a 1, a 1, and a 5, and I have 2 brawn.
All right. Well, unfortunately, the 2 1s don't do it, so you have to use the 1 and the 5 plus your 2 brawn, and so you deal a very noble
Boom.
1 damage to this.
Yeah, get wrecked,
to this
wolf.
wolf.
Good job. Good job.
It takes your spear right in its skull, but the skull is thicker than you're expecting, and so it just like slices through the flesh, but without without having any significant
Gosh,
impact beyond that.
talk about hard-headed.
Boy,
Yeah,
Wow, what a great
that's
line.
my catchphrase.
It only works in very specific situations.
All right, next up is the wolves. Let's get some brawn checks going. All right, so the 4 wolves from left to right respectively rolled an 8, a 5, a 7, and an 8.
Yikes.
Which means that all but the second one managed to break free of the webbing, using their back legs as leverage.
But only 3 of them are ensnared.
Yes, indeed. 2 of the 3 that were ensnared managed to break free. And of those, 2 of them pounce forward to attack Vitellius. Let's get it on. Oh, Ben, do you think I should do a ganging up situation here?
Oh, yes. Instead of rolling individual attack rolls, they simply share a single attack, but at the upper hand.
Instead of attacking
additional
individually,
monster.
they just start clicking their fingers and approaching threateningly.
Jamie, that's not a callback. It never made it in.
I can make the same joke. I cut it out of my intro like 3 times.
If 2 plus... well, single attack with the upper hand for each monster... Okay, cool, yeah. So I'm rolling 4d6 here. Alright, so that's a critical hit.
Oofy-doofy.
Ben, I'd like you to roll on the injury table for this.
Righto.
And roll well.
So that's a 2. That's a 1.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
You
Oh,
know what
no.
that means?
Oh no.
You are dead. Vitellius
No!
is instantly dead.
Rest in peace.
Alright,
So I suppose you can.
let's narrate it a little bit.
You're right. I will. One thing I will say is that as the wolves lunged towards Vitellius, his final words were, or his words were, "I'm coming for you, Gragor!"
And with that final battle cry, the 2 wolves, pouncing upon Vitellius, tear his head from his body.
Snyder!
The jaws of the previously restrained wolf grab Vitellius's ankles, while the second wolf, who already had to leap over his still constrained companion, takes a second leap, his jaws wrapping firmly around Vitellius's head. And they make short work of him. But as Vitellius's body rides on the ground, all of you hear the chime of a bell. And with that sound, the wolves who previously were growling and making all of the noises of aggression that you might expect from attacking wild creatures suddenly go silent. One of them lets out a small whimper as the head, trapped in its jaws, begins to melt, the flesh disintegrating into dust in the wolf's mouth, and it sneezes and attempts to spit out this vile substance, backing into a corner as it does so. And no sooner has the flesh melted away than it forms a whirlwind around the skeletal remains, and rising to a standing position even before the flesh finishes forming around the skeleton, you see someone new. Someone wearing dark overalls and a white clean apron. Someone who looks most surprised to be there. I'd like everyone to roll a grip check, please.
Oh man.
You said a bell chimes and I thought I could go to bed. Shit.
Red herring.
Oh, fuck.
I think I failed the grip check.
You sure did. Jamie rolled a 3. Josh rolled a 4. So that is for Caradon and Victor respectively. Stephen got an 8 plus
His
1,
will, which is 1.
which is a success. Congratulations. And Anchor rolled a 9, plus her will of 0 is nonetheless a success. So you two can both mark experience, and the other two lose a
Unperturbed.
grip.
Oh my god.
What the
Where
hell?
is my dear friend Vitellius Schneider gone?
I can't believe I killed Snyder. I was just trying to do the right thing. Oh god.
You should never have thrown that book at him.
I should never have
He
thrown
was
that
never the
book
same after that.
Hey, Alex.
Hey,
All right.
did I spook any of you?
Well, since I'm not
You did.
shaking.
Two of them were totally spooked out.
Well, I wasn't shaken by it, so I will just welcome you.
She forms out of the dust of Vitellius Schneider and says, "Did I spook any of you?"
I'm in the corner throwing up.
She does not. So I'd like you all. Well, you can reintroduce your character name Although actually, you know what? You can do it after the fight. You've
That seems reasonable.
You've formed mid battle, so. Oh, I didn't roll grip checks for the wolves. My bad. Okay, the two wolves that had attacked Vitellius have also lost a grip apiece. And you can tell this by the way that they're cowering in fear from the freshly formed doctor. So, Alex.
Hello.
Can you remind me of your character's name?
I can do that. I am Dr. Ryer Nightbird. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, none of you have heard that yet.
Yeah, bitches.
She means business.
Yeah, my character doesn't know. Should I roll for my turn, or should I just stand here confused?
You will take Vitellius' turn.
That seems reasonable.
You open your eyes, and you immediately look down and feel your own body. You have this strange feeling as if it was only moments ago that you felt yourself die. And yet, it feels like hundreds of years have passed. Hundreds of years which you were absent from. And you feel that the stab wounds are gone. Your outfit is just as you remember it, possibly even a little bit shinier. You feel alive, and it doesn't make sense.
Well, I'm glad for that, at least.
Roll an observation check.
Yeah. Well, let's see what we see.
All right.
No.
Very much.
Eyes still blurry.
So perplexed are you by the sudden change in your surroundings from the crowd of red-cloaked followers to this cave? Are you in some kind of cave? That you don't even notice the wolves circling you. Next in the order is back up to Anchor.
Yes. Okay. I have something in mind, but first I think I need to know where the doctor is standing.
Exactly where Vitellius previously was. Well, maybe a few feet back after getting knocked over by the wolves.
Ooh. So I can have a shot on the closest wolf.
Yep.
So okay, I want to try
Easily.
something different. I want to have a flamey arrow. You know, I have an alcohol.
Oh. Yeah, no, that sounds great. I've just realised that there's a wolf that didn't get to attack, and Jamie and Josh have both been completely silent about it because they know that this wolf is going to attack them.
Oh, he's a friend of mine.
Slimy?
All right, let me just roll this quick attack roll. So this wolf is rolling to attack Victor von Thorn, who just left a nasty gash in its forehead. And Victor, do you have some kind of ability that might
Yes.
help you out in this situation?
Yeah,
you
I
haven't mentioned in previous similar
I probably
situations?
do. I'm just gonna just to cast my mind back. Have we ever used Josh's advancements or anything for with physical attacks on them or against the odds? Yeah, so I've got a advancement which, if I understand correctly, it means physical attacks on me against the odds.
Oh, well, that's fortunate because this wolf is trying to bite you.
Oh well.
So let's see how this turns out.
Activate advancement.
All right, I need to roll another one.
Is that how it works?
It's still going to be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
It rolled a 6, a 4, a 5, and a 6.
Mm.
And obviously one of those 6s is completely wasted. But that is still a critical hit on Victor.
What about my shield?
Which, as I understand it, is it's pretty bad news for you.
Right.
Because you've previously been pounced upon by a wolf.
Well, then I should have built up an immunity.
You should have, but there's only so much immunity that you can have to literal teeth in your flesh through your armor. You only had 5 vigor at the start of this fight,
Mm-hmm.
and
how many armor?
this will reduce you to 0. But roll an injury anyway.
Sorry.
Roll an injury first. Yeah.
What is that?
So that would be a 3 and a 6. A D3 and a D6.
A D3 and a D6. So D9?
Nope.
Nope. One after the other. One.
I know
Okay.
D6.
Roll high.
Oh, he rolled.
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, lucky.
Roll a 1 and a
So
6.
a 1 and a 6 means, in fact, it's the identical result that the wolf received previously. That means
Oh, what off a duck's back. Victor.
I mean, you are still
Well,
going to be
you are
reduced to
literally on the
0
cusp of death.
vigor.
Yeah.
So it might not. The fact that you didn't get any additional injuries won't doesn't prevent from the fact that you might die. Now, ordinarily, when a character falls to 0 vigor, they flip a coin to determine if they die or if they are merely falling unconscious. But before you flip that coin, I will say that if you are unfortunate, then you will not instantly die. You'll have just a little bit longer for reasons that may shortly become apparent.
Oh, will Mabel come? Mabel come and kiss me into the big sleep?
Flip a coin, Josh.
Mabel. Okay, all right. What's? Are we saying 1 is death? 2 is no? Yes.
Yep.
1 is death.
1 is death. 2 is
you. So you die.
Fall unconscious.
Oh. Okay, go on. Go. Drum roll.
2 is you, the audience, die.
All those people. I was going to say all those single-digit people, but I don't know.
We'll commit mass murder with
Millions. Like, okay, I'm going to shut up. Oh fuck, I'm dead. No, Victor on Thorn. He was such a
not a fan favorite character. Victor on Thorn.
I'm sorry, fangirls and people who've made fan art. Oh no, which is basically just me. Oh. What is this feeling?
All right. Victor, who so gallantly rushed forth, spear pointed ahead of him to defend Caradon and prove yet again his noble nature has fallen to the jaws of this wolf. They bite deep into his side, and he is taken down, and he can feel the blood draining out of this wound. He realizes seconds later that this is the end.
Tell my father I died bravely. My father's name is...
It's a strange name, but I'll try.
Funny name.
The blood is draining from Victor von Thorn, but there are still wolves to hunt. So we're back up to anchor. You can re-describe your flaming arrow idea because it sounded really cool.
Okay. Can I get a observation? Can I get a description of the scene? Like which wolf is?
Yeah, I won't make you roll for that.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
You are still standing on the ledge. There are the 2 wolves that attacked Vitellius.
Which one?
The one that pounced and took his head is the one that was formerly behind the rock face that you couldn't see before. In fact, roll an observation check.
Which is 2d6? No.
Yep.
Okay. Oop.
All right, you rolled a 6. Cool. So this is the one that you couldn't see before. The one that you previously shot is the one that's closest to you. There is one that is still restrained, but that is gnashing at the spider web and getting webbing stuck in its jaws. And finally, there is the one that just took down one of your companions. You have line of sight to all of them because you are above them. The ledge is high enough that you can look down over the scene.
Well, I want to take revenge. But also
Revenge.
there is a factor that Caradon is very close to them. No?
That's not going to be an issue.
Okay.
Very good at ducking.
Yeah, and also Victor's lying on the ground. Caradon's probably, probably trying to detach the jaws of the wolf from his friend. Is that
Okay.
the kind of thing that Caradon would do?
Yeah. Bad wolf. No.
Down, boy!
Slime.
All right, give me
That's
an
not
attack roll.
nice. We don't do that.
Okay. So I took my arrow, dip it in a bottle of alcohol that I keep it in my.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
very quickly douse this arrow so that it doesn't take any extra time.
Yeah. And I say, for Sir Victor Fontaine. Okay, attack roll.
Yes, please.
Yeesh. Let's see.
Okay. That's sad. So she rolled a 4, a 6, and a 1. Unfortunately, or fortunately, 1 plus 4 plus your 3 wit is enough. So you managed to score another critical hit.
Woo!
Roll on the injury table if you would.
Oh, please don't be no effect. That's different.
Oh, I mean, a 5's not going to be great. So she rolled
Okay.
a 2 and a 5.
The effect of a 2 and a 5 is that for this wolf, stat checks are against the odds for 5 minutes or until the combat ends, whichever is sooner.
No way.
Well, or until it dies, presumably.
Well, naturally, yeah.
Well, that'll be the end of the combat, right?
Well,
the
I
end
mean,
of the combat for the wolf, certainly.
You've got to avenge me, guys.
against the odds on stat checks, did you say? All right. It's going to roll a wit check.
Yep.
God damn it. All right.
For fuck's sake.
I have
It
I have
rolled a
nothing
6,
to
a 4, and a
say.
5, which means that even without the 6, it was successful. So, this wolf, at the impact of the arrow in between its ribs, staggers backwards, and it almost staggers so far as to fall into the river of acidic goo behind it, the green, if you will. But it just manages to catch itself, and in spite of the fact that none of its legs are particularly injured, you can see that this wolf is on its last legs.
I see what he did there.
All right. Next up in the order is
Caradon.
Stephen, I should think.
Stephen. Yes, indeed.
Oh.
So Stephen is still up on the ledge.
Oh no! Wait!
I mean-
Sorry, Ben.
Ooh.
Sorry, Ben. I just realised that I'd added that to the wrong column. All right.
Okay.
So the wolf staggers backwards, just manages to avoid dipping its back legs into this acid stream, and then it topples over dead.
Oh. I was gonna kill that one and claim all the glory.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
No, this
wish.
is definitely dead.
Oh, okay.
If it didn't die and the audience was keeping track somehow of which wolves you were attacking, which I imagine I haven't been articulate enough for them to easily do, then they would be horrified at the amount of HP sorry, the amount of vigor that these wolves have. So no, it's definitely dead.
Certainly horrified, yes.
Well, I mean, they're probably still just soaking in their own sweat in relief at not having died when Josh flipped that coin.
R.I.P. Avenge
True.
me, guys.
You've been
I
avenged.
just
The wolf is
did.
dead.
I just
I didn't realize it
did.
was the same wolf.
Appreciation,
Yeah,
please.
same.
So I
The very
completely, the
same.
moment I
And
died,
we're
I was just,
gonna
I
fu-
just switched off. I'm just like,
There you go. Now you can see
I've
your
stormed off to my
success.
trailer.
I even threw my arrow by saying Forza Victor Fronton.
No, that means a
No?
lot. Thank you.
So, Ben, back to Stephen. Sorry for interrupting.
No worries. So Stephen, he's currently still up on the ledge, but what he's gonna do is he's gonna take out another throwing knife and running up to the ledge, he's gonna jump off and attempt to throw the knife as he jumps at the wolf, which is furthest away on his left, as it were. So currently the
That's
northernmost
pretty
wolf.
badass.
How are you going to break your fall?
With the other wolf.
He's gonna land on the body of Victor von Thor.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Wow. That's heavy.
He's going to attempt to, at least. I imagine this involves some
Just been
shooting.
desecrated.
Yeah. I guess it would be a wit check. It's more like an acrobatic.
Well, I think the attack.
Action.
Well, the attack come first in any case.
Yeah, sure.
In this maneuver, you think?
No. You know what? Roll the wit check first, and then the attack may be against
Okay.
the odds if you fail.
Sure, that sounds very sensible.
All right, that's an 8
So with
plus
2 wits.
2. Wow, you successfully perform this maneuver. Okay, give us the attack roll, and then I'll repaint the picture that you just described.
It's like a trampoline.
All right,
That's
you rolled
what
a
I
1, a
said.
3, and a 4. So you're rolling with wit, right?
Yes.
Plus 2. Okay, that's enough. Stephen leaps from the ledge. He had his target in sight, the one still constrained wolf who couldn't possibly flee during his jump to avoid his knife. And with more grace than he expected from himself, he flings out the knife and it lands a deep gash just above the wolf's shoulder. Then he looks down and prepares to land, seeing, just as he'd hoped, that he's lined up the jump so that Victor von Thorn can cushion his fall. Your feet make contact and you jump backwards, the body barely sliding as you elegantly backflip back into an upright position.
Ow. You did say I was still alive, right? But like,
You are still alive. Alex,
I can still feel.
it is not. It's not your turn. Oh no, in fact, it is your turn. So first of all, roll a second observation check.
Hopefully, I'm not so dumb as to not notice the fact that there is literally a fight going on around me. I got a 10.
Well, I would have told you something about the fight anyway, but you succeed on the
understandable.
observation check. So, it has entered your sphere of awareness that there are wolves, large wolves with matted, greasy, perhaps, fur in your vicinity. And not only that, there are other people here. People in strange clothing, but who seem to be fighting the wolves around you. And most prominent in your awareness is the man in armor, lying on the floor, blood pooling around him. It's this blood that first draws your attention as your eyes adjust to the gloom.
So, Rara is obviously massively in shock at all of this, but I think like something deeper than like a conscious awareness comes into play the second like the guy is downed. And I just want to like against like all reasonable ideas of like running away or maybe fighting the wolves. I just rush to the side of this dying individual.
All right.
And attempt to start giving aid.
Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
This is true. I am a doctor. This person has assumed something they should not.
Okay. I do something more in characters, but it picked up on. No,
don't worry.
Hello, sweet maiden. I'm glad. I am glad that my final vision on this
I
earth.
immediately leave this man to
I'm glad that
die.
my final vision on this earth was one so fair as you.
All right. Even as he is.
I am going to put this down to the shock.
The shock of such raw
ignore
beauty.
He's not normally like this.
All right. You.
Okay. Well, anyway.
You feel around in your clothing. Obviously, things aren't how you remember them, so you're not sure what you'll find. You're surprised that within your belt there are a couple of your medical tools, a scalpel, some scissors, the things that you kept on your person day in and day out in the lab. And you're delighted to find within your garments a single vial of the experimental wound knitting potion that had been funding your research until recently. But even as you're getting it out and unstopping it and preparing to administer it, you realize that the words that this man spoke would inevitably be his last. And as you kneel over him, understanding full well that there's nothing that you can do, that you're too late, you hear from your chest a pendant that you hadn't noticed before. And as the light leaves Victor Von Thorn's eyes, all of you hear, yet again, the chime of a bell. Thank you for listening to A Bell Chimes. You can find us at abellchimes.com. You can email us at achimingbell@gmail.com or send us a message on Twitter at abellchimes.
Is that bell chiming again?
That damn bell!
That darn bell won't stop chiming.
So many
Is that
fucking bells.
you, God?